What's going on, everybody? Okay. I gotta get kind of loosened up because this is my first speaking event ever. So you guys are gonna get something unique here. There's gonna be a lot of energy, so I hope you guys are okay with that. But again, my name is Jordan Steen. As you can see, serial entrepreneur. Yes, I know that it's not actually like cereal like the food. As you guys can kind of see, I'm a goofy person, so we thought when we created this brand that we would do something a little creative as well. But anyways, let's get into why I'm here today. We're talking about Facebook ads and Facebook ad funnels. I actually just had a talk with a guy backstage. He was like, yeah, we've tried Facebook ads, but we don't get the results we're looking for. And the reason why is because a lot of people don't do it the right way. But before we get into that, let me give you a little background about myself and what Serial Entrepreneur is. So we run a YouTube channel. We also run a digital marketing school for people looking to learn more about digital marketing, starting an agency, selling, stuff like that. We've been doing that for about the past year and a half, a little over a year and a half now, but I started in digital marketing back in 2009, actually even before that when I was in high school. I was taking personal pages and using them as business pages. So I would, kind of fake a personal account and enter the business name instead of a, business page. Well, 2009 came around. I was in college at this time, and so we started taking the business pages, working that with some of the companies that I worked for, and one of my companies that I ran in college. So from there, it just kind of grew, and my interest in digital marketing grew overall. And in 2014, when I got out of college, yes, I know I'm young, but when I got out of college in 2014, I took my first, big boy job in Jacksonville, Florida with Gannett. You guys are probably familiar with Gannett. They're a big competitor to Cox Media Group, but that's neither here nor there. Basically, I was working there. I was doing a lot of the work that I probably shouldn't have been doing as a 23-year-old, and I really wanted to move up, and they weren't, ready to make that decision yet, so I came back to Atlanta and decided I would do it all for myself, and I saw the big opportunity, obviously, in digital marketing, so we kept going with what we're doing now, so Serial Entrepreneur, and I guess I should press the slide button so you guys can see the next slide. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into the topic that really matters, and that's going to be creating Facebook ads. So the first thing I want to point out is a rule by Jeffrey Lant, Dr. Jeffrey Lant, and that is the rule of 7. The rule of 7 basically states that you should touch a person with your message or with your content at least 7 times before you should ever expect them to buy. A lot of you are probably familiar with this concept, but for those of you who aren't, understand this now, and this is why your Facebook ads probably aren't working. You're not running your ads the right way. You're not touching customers enough times for them to actually want to buy your product or service. Okay, so this is a very important rule to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and look at an example of your Facebook ads. There's usually 2 types. One, where you run a special offer. So you basically send them a promo or a discount or something to try out your service, right? And then after you run that special offer, you completely ghost them. You never talk to them again. How many times have you, run these types of ads? Does anybody in here run ads where you just run it one time and then you never talk to them again? I'm going to guess a lot of you might have. The second type is people usually try to promote some of their content, right? Give people a reason to want to actually look at their business or their product or service. And so they run a video or they run a blog post and then they ghost them. They never talk to them again, which, as we just went over, you need to talk to them at least 7 times before you should expect them to convert. So let's look at how it kind of should be done. And this is a high-level example of what it's going to look like. Later on in the presentation, we're going to show you the exact breakdown of how I implement this strategy into my ad campaigns and into my clients' ad campaigns. But essentially, it is, it's more than 6 steps. It can be less than 6 steps. It depends on the product or service you're selling. Obviously, some businesses have longer sales cycles, right? So you have to take that into consideration. But in a basic sense, this is what it looks like. The very first step is to send them something to get them aware of who you are or what you do, right? That's the awareness level. If you're familiar with sales funnels at all, it's awareness, consideration, conversion, right? You walk them through that process. So that's what this first part does. It tells a story about your brand, but not just a story. You don't have to only run a story. You can do something that's just engaging, but it needs to be related to your product or service. It can be a video that makes them laugh, that informs them, that enlightens them, right? Or changes the mood in their day, something like that. It has to be something, though, that sticks in their brain and at least introduces them to, something related to your business. Number 2 is a value video, okay? And this doesn't ask for anything yet. We're not asking them for customer information. We're not asking them for their email address, their first name, last name, phone number, whatever it is that you're trying to collect. We're not at that point yet. Why? They don't trust you. One thing I want you guys to understand about Facebook, it is a disruptive platform of marketing, meaning you're coming across their newsfeed and asking them to stop and take time to look at your business or your product or service. So understand that. If I'm asking you to stop, take time out of your day, it has to be something that's truly meaningful, right? So that's all we're at the first couple stages, all we're doing is focusing on value. At the third stage, this is where we give them value with, say, a download, right? This is where you're sending them to that landing page or ClickFunnels or lead pages, whatever it is that you use, and you give them that template, that ebook, that video download, whatever it may be, right? Number 4 is going to be a testimonial. All right, so we've walked them through the process of giving them value. We've introduced them to our business, but they're still in that second part of the ad funnel, which is consideration, right? They're still considering, and it's a key word there, considering whether we should go with your business or the competitor. All right, and that's why this stage is important. The testimonial ads start to convince that customer why they should work with you versus somebody else, or why they should buy your product versus somebody else. All right, 5th part is going to be an authority ad, and this can be something like an award that your business has received. Like I work with a lot of real estate agents. They receive awards for being top sales agents or top real estate agents in an area. That's something that you can run as an ad to your audience later on down the funnel to convince them to work with your business instead of the competitor. And then if all else fails and you've done all this convincing and you've done all of this value where you give away or free information or you make them laugh, whatever it may be, you've convinced them with testimonials, you've shown them why you're the best in your area. If that doesn't work, then you can send them a special offer. But if you noticed in the last example, we were sending the special offer right off the bat. So we're losing out on an opportunity to make more revenue per customer because we feel like, oh, well, if we give offers, none of the other Facebook ads that we run are working, so we're just going to give stuff away for free. When in reality, you should wait till you've warmed them up, you've built a relationship with them, you've built trust with them to actually start sending them those kinds of ads. So let's look at a brief example, and we'll get into the cool guy John here in a second. But what I want to mention first, in a lot of business, seriously, when I say a lot, I mean like 90% of business owners don't have the Facebook Pixel installed on their website, and it blows my mind every single time. They wonder why their Facebook ads aren't working, but they don't have this piece of data on their website to track these conversions, to track people taking actions on their site. So what I mean is if somebody adds something to cart, if they visit a checkout page, if you sell 14 different products, you can target by which product they're looking at right then and there. That's why the Facebook Pixel is so important, and that's why most people don't see the results they're looking for. It also has to do a lot more with the ad setup that they're trying to do or they're trying to use with the Pixel. The Pixel is just a small part of that ad funnel. So we'll get into that in just a second. But this is John. All right, John's a cool guy. John has a Facebook profile. You might also have an Instagram profile too, and that's another thing I should mention, guys. If you're doing it with Facebook, it also works the exact same way with Instagram, and you need to be on both. John has a Facebook profile, okay? John really loves photography, but John needs a new camera, right? So what does John do? Well, the first thing any of us are going to do, we're going to go online, probably go to Google, right? We're going to type in a search for cameras, or if you have a specific camera in mind, you're going to look for that camera. If you don't, you have a brand name, you're going to look for that brand name, right? So it's going to pull up a bunch of, people or businesses that sell that product, okay? But what typically happens is this. So say you have the Facebook Pixel set up on your site. At the very basic level, you have that done, right? But your competitor also has the Facebook Pixel set up on their site. Here's the difference, though, between your ad campaign and their ad campaign. Most ad campaigns that I see look like this. Your business at day one, after they visit your website, because again, that's what the Pixel allows you to do. When they visit that website, you can retarget an ad to them on Facebook, right? So after day one, they visit your website, and you send them an ad on Facebook. But then what happens? That ghost comes around again, right? You guys leave them. You quit talking to them. And that communication is key, because remember, the rule of 7, right? Here's what your competitor's doing. On day one, they're sending them an ad with some value. They're saying, hey, John, John was using an old Kodak wind-up camera. Now we're trying to get him into the digital age. So we give him some tips about DSLR, right? Here's 10 reasons why you want to use a DSLR camera. At day 3, what we're going to do is we're actually going to send John, that value download. Hey, here's a downloadable document for you to take, 5 really cool ways to implement into your camera shooting methods or whatever that are going to give you the best cameras this summer, or best photos this summer, or the best video this summer. Day 7, what we're going to do is we're going to send that testimonial ad. So we're following up with customers who have bought from your competitor saying, hey, this is why we're the best. This is why we are, rated so highly. This is why our customers love us. Or, really it's the customer telling them, hey, this is why we love that product or service. Day 12, we're gonna follow up with that authority ad, and that can be, again, maybe you got published in BuzzFeed. I like to give this example. We actually recently were published in an article called Future Sharks. So what we do is we talk to people, and when we get them to a certain point in our ad funnel and they still haven't purchased, then we send them that ad saying, hey, we have this many reviews, or we have our customer reviews section, and then we send them an ad on Future Sharks and say, hey, go visit this blog article. This company published us. We want you to know that, we have that out there. And it adds to the trust. It adds to the authority of your brand. It builds that relationship with that customer. And again, if you guys know something about sales, which I'm gonna guess all of you do, that it all comes down to building that relationship with a potential customer, okay? So who do you think wins this competition right here? It's definitely going to be the competitor, pretty much every single time. And the reason why is because they were top of mind, but not only were they top of mind, they spent time building the relationship, they gave them value, they gave them reasons why other customers wanted them, and then they showed them, hey, this is why we're the best at what we do. So they followed up over a 12-day period where your business might have only followed up with 1 to 3 days at the very most. And that's just taking into consideration, again, hopefully you have the Facebook pixel installed on your site. If you don't have the pixel, you're not able to do any of that. The only thing you can do is retarget people who have visited your Facebook page or your Instagram page. So I have a question, and I would like for you guys to take part here. I know it's later in the day, so a lot of you kind of looking like slouchy, but I want to see a raise of hands. Somebody raise your hand, or please all of you raise your hands if you have seen this image before, if you recognize that image. All right, so we have a good show of hands. I see a lot, though, that haven't raised their hand, though. So that means a lot of you have worked in Ads Manager. That's great. I'm glad to see that you guys are on the back end, not using the front end. A quick tip, if you guys haven't seen this before, you need to go to business.facebook.com as soon as you leave here, and you need to get on that end of the Ads Manager platform and stop using the front end Business Manager. Stop boosting posts because it doesn't work. In my opinion, from all the ads we've run and all the ad money that we've spent, it just doesn't work in comparison to the back end manager. So what I want to go over here really quickly is 3 types of audiences that you can create using Facebook and kind of what their importance is. The first one is going to be saved audiences, and these are also known as your core audiences. Essentially what I like to tell people is that these are your high level, your awareness level, your cold traffic type audiences. Okay, so these are the people that don't know who your business or what your product or service is yet. Okay, so saved audiences, again, these are very important. These generate all of your cold traffic. You can target people by their interests, their behaviors, their demographics, whether they're 50 or whether they're 20. It doesn't matter what that is, but you have to, obviously, you know your customer best, but that's what that type of audience is for. The next is gonna be custom audiences. So if you haven't installed the Facebook Pixel, or if you haven't used the backend manager, Facebook or business.facebook.com, if you haven't used that manager before, then you probably haven't seen custom audiences before, because that's the only way you're really gonna be able to get to it. But custom audiences allow you to track those things like people who have made purchases, people who have added items to cart, people who have visited your checkout page or a specific sales page if you have an item that you're trying to push, right? So custom audiences are very important. Again, if you don't have the Facebook Pixel set up, that's useless to you. The third part we're going to talk about is lookalike audiences. And lookalike audiences are super important because they're a more qualified version of cold traffic. So how do these work? Essentially, with a lookalike audience, let's say you have a list of 1,000 customers, right? They all have a Facebook page. So Facebook collects all of this data about you. They know your interests, they know your likes, they know your demographic information. So how do they take, why is a lookalike audience important? Essentially, they take all of that information about who you are, what you do online, what your interests are, and they say, okay, go out to Facebook. We have all of this data about everybody else out there. Go find people who are like that group of 1,000 customers, and then take them, build an audience out of them. You segment it to your local area or your region, wherever you're at. Other interests you can target by. So if they, but going back to the camera example, if they like Canon, or if they like Nikon, but that allows you to build more qualified cold traffic leads or cold traffic. So lookalike audiences are very important. You should be using your customer list. You should be using your leads lists, your email lists. All of that should be created, or you should use those to create a lookalike audience. Because again, these are more qualified than even the saved audiences we talked about before. So now we're going to get into the actual ads example, the funnel example that I'm talking about. And there's about 5 different slides that go into all of this, so make sure to pay attention because this is where it kind of gets a little more technical, a little more advanced. So on the far left-hand side, you guys see Facebook ad website clicks, and Facebook ad video views. Again, this is at the awareness stage. This is people who don't know who you are. We're generating interest, right? So what we're going to do is at the very first stage, people who don't know you, we're going to send them ads, taking them to a blog article, and we're also going to send them a video ad, okay? This video ad could be basically a digitized version of your blog article. Now what we're going to do is this blog article has a specific piece of content that you're focusing on, right? So a specific interest that they might have in your product or service. So what we're going to do, again, we're going to attach the pixel, or we're going to really take the URL from that blog post, and we're going to create an audience off of it. All right, so we know who visited that website, and you can do it by 3 days, 7 days, 15 days, whatever, right? And we're going to push them forward, in this example, 7 days. All of the people who visited that blog post in the last 7 days, we're going to send them another ad. A website conversion ad. And this is going to get really repetitive. I'm about to say that a lot. Another ad, because that's what Facebook ads should look like. That's what a Facebook sales funnel should look like. So you send the people who visited that blog post 7 days later, or up to 7 days, another Facebook ad. Same thing with the Facebook ad video views. And these are one of my favorites, if you want me to be honest. And you guys know video is going to be taking over here shortly, if not already has taken over. So you should really be focusing on the video views. Facebook ad video views, what does that mean? Basically, people who viewed a certain amount or a certain portion of your video. So you put together this 5-minute video, all right? And this is, again, top level, so you don't want to target people who watched 95%, right? Because they don't really know your business. We're going to target a little lower. We're going to go at about 25% of your video viewed, okay? We're going to send them to that same ad that we're sending the people who visited the blog article. So the topic should be pretty relevant. It should be relevant, but the same. So this Facebook conversion ad, what we're going to do now is we have their interest, we've given them some value. Now we're going to send them another ad, and this ad is going to convert them. The reason why we have Facebook conversion as the objective, that is the actual ad objective, because at this point we're trying to collect some information. But before we do that, that ad that we just showed them, the Facebook conversion ad right there at the very right, that should have value in it as well. That's why in the very first, the broader example, we talked about 2 stages of value. So now we're actually getting them to give us their customer information, or their information about themselves. So we're able to take that information and we create an audience of leads. These are people that have visited the thank you page of your opt-in page. So basically they opt in, they go to the thank you page, you take the URL of that thank you page, and you're going to create an audience on people who visited that page. All right, these are leads. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take them to another ad, right? We're going to take them to a Facebook ad, and we're also going to do another website conversion. I'll talk about that in a second. The people who did not convert, the people who didn't give you their information, you're just going to retarget them. And you can retarget them based on people who visited this page but did not or visited your opt-in page but did not visit your thank you page, right? Those people did not convert. So what we're going to do is we're going to retarget them, because you should never hit someone just one time with an ad. Maybe they got busy. Maybe they got distracted, right? You don't want to let those people go just because they didn't convert the first time. So we're going to retarget those people again. So now we're pushing them to another ad, right? Because they still haven't bought. At this stage, so all of these ads that we're running, they still haven't purchased. You're going to get your people who purchase high level. Those are the more impulsive buyers. They don't need to be convinced as much, right? So we're moving forward to the people who haven't purchased yet. We're going to send them another Facebook Facebook ad for a website conversion, and we're going to send them directly to the product page. So now it's a specific product that you sell. It's based on the content that you sent them previously. So what do we do after we send them to the product page? If they don't convert, how do we get them to convert from there? That's where the next phase of ads comes in, and this is more in the consideration phase. This is where, okay, the people who didn't buy yet, we're going to convince them why they should be buying with us. So we're going to send them, basically everybody who visited your product page, we're going to send them an ad or another ad convincing them why your product is the best. So I don't know why those lines are messing up. Basically, it should be pointing to the 5 reasons our product is awesome. So people who viewed that product page after 2 days, we're going to send them that ad, convincing them why our product is better than the competitors. And then people who don't convert from there, we're going to push forward again, and we're going to send those people a carousel testimonial. This is a bunch of videos of your customers talking to you about, or talking to them really, about their experience with your product or service, okay? So from there, the people who don't convert, we're going to send them another ad. And this ad has to do with the awards and press that you've received. So if you've received a specific award for doing business, or if you've been published in an article somewhere, this is the ad that you're going to follow up with to get these people to begin to trust you. That is it's the most important part. People don't buy because they don't trust you. So if you don't do something on Facebook, or if you don't give them an outlet to learn to trust you, why would they ever buy from you? Most people won't. So that's why we build these ad funnels out specifically to not only show them our product, give them value, get them to trust us, but to show them why we're better than other competitors. All right, so that's the essential, that's essentially, I know this looks kind of weird because the arrow's kind of messed up, but again, Facebook ads, 5 reasons our product is awesome. Then we move them through to the testimonial. The people who still don't buy, we're going to move them even further forward to the awards and press type of ad. All right, and it applies to anything. In this instance, we're looking at an e-commerce related business, but you can do this with real estate agents, you can do this with attorneys, doctors, general contractors. It doesn't matter what your business, you just need to keep in mind how your sales process works. If you don't have a product page, right? Like if you're an attorney and you don't have a product page, what do? You send them to maybe an appointment page where they schedule an appointment, right? You track that conversion, but this works for any business. So let's move on. What happens if they go through this whole stage of consideration and they still haven't bought? Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm going to take some time to explain this one too. Basically, this is the conversion level. We haven't gotten them to purchase, right? We've given them all of the value we could possibly give them. We've given them reasons why we're better than the competitor, but we still haven't gotten them to convert. So what are we going to do? We're going to target people who take specific actions on our page. So people who added to cart, because again, we're considering an e-commerce store here, or visited our checkout page. And all you do is, again, you take that URL of your add to cart, or you take that URL of your checkout page and you enter that in as an audience with a custom audience, and then you can retarget them on Facebook with specific content, specific ads. So people who add to cart or visit the checkout page within the last 2 days, we're going to send them another ad because maybe they forgot, maybe mom had a kid start crying or had to change a diaper, whatever it could have been. Maybe she got distracted and she forgot that she put something in her cart, right? But she really wanted that product, that's why she added it to the cart. So we're going to send her a gentle reminder, right? We're going to say, hey, we know things get crazy, things get busy. We wanted to send you a reminder, you put this in your cart. That's it. From the reminder ad, we're going to push them through to another ad. And in this ad, we're going to do some sort of offer. This is where you can actually start to push an offer because, again, they didn't trust you in the beginning, so there's no reason to try and give them an offer right up front. A lot of people, and I would bet that a lot of you have probably tried running special offer ads that just didn't work well. And it's, again, because they did not trust your business, they didn't trust your product or service yet because they didn't know enough about you. So we're going to give them that first offer. Let's say for this example, we're going to do a free shipping offer, right? So that's the first one. So people who added to cart up to 5 days later, we're going to send them that free shipping offer. From there, the people who don't convert, the people who don't buy, we're going to send them another ad. And this ad is going to be the final promo. So this is going to be something like, your biggest offer possible. What we like to do at Serial Entrepreneur, we'll give them something like, we have a marketing school and then we have a mentorship program. So we'll do something like, hey, if you purchase right now, we'll give you a month access to the mentorship program for free. And then you can also purchase the course or some other type of offer. But you get what I'm saying. The offer needs to be enticing. It needs to be something that they're going to come back and buy again and again if you get them in there that first time. But you have to get them in there that first time. So don't be afraid. A lot of business owners are afraid to give cool promotions or to do a special offer or to do a cool contest. Don't be afraid. The bigger you go, the better the result. Like every single time I test this out, the bigger we go, the better the result every single time. So don't be afraid to go big with your offers. So let's move on. Let's say now we're past the point of getting all these people to buy, right? All of these people have been through our sales type funnel. We've got some to buy. The ones who didn't, they're not qualified anymore, right? They're going to go through the process again and again until they do buy. It might not have been the right time for them, right? So we want to focus on now. We've focused on the people who have come through our sales funnel. We want to work on the customers, the people who have actually bought from us, because now we can build out ad funnels to upsell or to cross-sell or to build a better relationship with our customers. So, this is great. Okay, so this kind of looks like this without all of the arrows. So they make it to your purchase page. All right, they purchased a product. I'm going to walk you guys through this. They purchased your product. So how do we know they purchased it? We're going to take the URL from your thank you page or from your purchase page or order confirmation page, whatever, and you're actually going to attach that URL, create an audience. From there, people who purchase that product, after 2 days, we're going to send them another ad, and this is going to be a personal thank you. hey, thanks for buying our product. We really hope that you liked it. If you need to reach out to us, here's our email, here's our Instagram account, here's our, all of these other accounts, because you guys have a hard time getting them on all of your platforms, all of your channels, right? This is a great way to build that audience or that following, no matter what the channel, because you're giving them an ad that says, hey, thanks again for buying. We hope you like it. Here's our other stuff. If you need to reach out to us, here's how you do it. So again, building trust. The next ad you're gonna send is an upsell or a cross sell. So usually about 7 days, maybe up to 14 days after they purchase a product, that's when you're able to take another product that you have on your product line and just send them an ad saying, hey, we didn't know if you even knew this existed, but this is gonna help you do this with this product, so you're definitely gonna wanna take a look at it. And it's gonna get them into a consideration phase for that product. Then we go all the way back to the beginning where we were running the consideration ads, and we start running them through that process with that product. See how this all starts to work together? So now that we've upsold them, the last thing that we would like to do is try and send them, and this is a big part. This is one of my favorites, and a lot of businesses have issues with this, is getting customer reviews, right? I would bet that everybody in here has issues at some point getting customer reviews on some sort of platform. This is a great way to do it, because these are your customers. All you have to do is send them an ad saying, hey, we really hope you loved our product. If you didn't, though, here's a way for you to leave a review. Or if you did, here's the link to leave us a review. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it with your Google reviews if you're trying to get reviews there. You just put the URL in there that you're trying to get them to, and they will write reviews if you ask the right way, if you build the right content out, if you give them more value than you probably should be. That's the key, giving more value than you probably should. If you feel like, damn, are we giving too much away? Like, are we giving away too much for free? That's not the way to look at it. We give away as much as possible at my channel, and we're gonna talk about that here in a second, but the more you can give away, the more value you can give these people, whether they're a customer or whether they're not, the more they're gonna fall in love with your brand, the more they're gonna talk about your products and services for you, and it takes more off of you having to find new customers, having to spend that money on your ad budgets, and really having to drive new customers to your business. They do the work for you. So I'm about done. What I'm gonna show you guys, this is my link, or it is a link, it's a short link. You guys are familiar with Bitly, but this link will take you to my YouTube channel. Like I said, we give away everything because we know that, number one, you're never gonna get through all of it by yourself. Number two, you need some help, you need some guidance, right? You need the structure. So we give away everything. We literally put it all out there. So if you're looking for more content on running Facebook ads, creating content, email marketing, SEO, websites, we try to cover it all. So if you're looking for more free information, I just wanted to send you that link. But that's it from me, guys. I am super excited that I got to do this. Oh, you have a question? Did you say it doesn't work? Okay, thank you. I was like, dude, okay, cool. We're working. Ted, I love you. No. Okay, so seriously, thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoy getting to do something like this. Again, this is the first time, so all of my subscribers are kind of watching a live feed right now. They're like, holy crap, Jordan's doing something cool. So, no, I'm super excited to be here. I thank you again for letting me do this, even though those little arrows weren't quite working out. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. As I always say on my channel, Serial Entrepreneur out. Later.